competition outside of Poland? Because before no one really thought about like to even travel outside.
And in the competition level, because you did an amazing Europeans, at least in my mind, on my view. You know, it was like probably the most solid tournament that you fought, technically talking, and you managed to fight with the best in the world, you know, with world champions and then many things like that. I would like to know, when you fought the European, how were you before the tournament, and what came up on your mind after fighting those champions? What was your view according to your resume for what you've been doing on training?
So one of the things that helped me a lot is training with you, you know, because like I don't know how to spar with Roger, but like I never spar with someone like putting that same amount of pressure, like, you know, same feeling like you had, like even like, for example, when I was sparring with Otavio, I felt a little bit more loose. Even though he's so quick, he's super strong, I didn't feel as bad like with you. So in my mind, I was already thinking in the way like, even though the people are gonna be tough, they're not gonna be as tough as you. Okay, that was kind of my mindset. So this way, it could
sorry
feel
if
like,
I make you feel bad. I'm making bad, feeling myself bad. Might make you. That wasn't the intention. We're talking about jiu-jitsu, guys. Yeah.
So yeah, so like in my opinion, like I was feeling like, okay, like the fight might be tough, but if I'm gonna get my grips, I'll be alright. It doesn't matter if the guy is like maybe 5 times world champion or he's no world champion. If I have my grips, I feel safe. So like first 20 seconds I was super nervous, but as soon as I get my grips, I was okay, calm, like now I know what to do. You know, like especially with Mohammed. I was like, he's huge, you know, like, but then like when I got my grips, I was like, okay, now I know what to do. I was just like, in my mind, I was just afraid. I remember like when I checked the brackets in the open class, I was like, first fight I had with the guy that like, he gave me very tough match, like back in 2018 World Pro. That was the bronze medal match. I remember I won that, but I was like, in my mind it was a fluke, because what happened was he was putting a lot of pressure for the 4 minutes, and he passed me. But then I managed to recover, like a reverse close guard, and I totalled it. And his ankle popped, so I was like, maybe that was a fluke. So then, and the Europeans, that was the first fight with him, and man, he was, yeah, it's like, no, it wasn't this one, it was a division.
Okay.
So in the open class, that was the guy that did the same.
You did the same technique,
yeah,
you pressed the guard, and I went to the footlock.
So I did that, and then I was like, man, in my mind day before, I was like thinking like, if I'm gonna win with him, because I was like, I already doubt myself, but it's like, if I'm gonna win with him, the next is Mohammed. This guy is huge, so the other guy is even bigger, you know, better. So in my mind, I was like, man, like I'm just afraid that Mohammed is gonna make a crazy throw at me, I'm gonna injure my neck again. So like in my mind, I was like, okay, just get my grips, don't let yourself get injured, and then I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's a good point that you mentioned that, because on my journey as well, you know, when I was training and I used to compete someone who's the high level people, you know, and I remember going to the tournaments, and there was someone like, man, full of patches on the mat, on the gi, you know, doing the warm-ups, like, dude, these guys, he knows what he's doing, you know, like, my God, you know, full of passion. Guys, man, look, he looks strong, looks scary, look with the attitude, you know, if you want to come and take pictures, I said, oh my God, this guy, who this guy, you know, he was a champion of a state, 2 states above, and of a very respected academy back in the day, and I was like, flipping heck, man, it's going to be a war, you know, I'm here with my playing gi, as usual, from the academy. Okay, let's compete. And I was like, man, this is gonna be a war. But as soon as I touched, I felt he's like get stuck. And I said, oh, hold on a second. Yeah. You know? Luciano, which is my training partner, which is 70 kilograms, it feels like harder, because Luciano knows how I play. And I know how, so when you train with people who knows what they're doing, you know, sometimes it becomes even a harder game against someone that is a champion, just because he doesn't know how to play. And then this was one of the things that we always spoke about since when you were purple belt, and then I invited you to come to the academy here in Birmingham, to get to see the academy, to get to see the area, to see if you like this style and stuff. And then we spoke about a lot on those things, on how, what is the focus to improvement, right? Because you already been good, you always been tough, like it was always good. What was the main thing that, because I want you to tell to the guys that train with us, and what do you remember out of our chats, and what was the advice that I gave you at first, and what kind of advice you're taking now, and what is making the difference on your game?
So for me, the hardest thing was because like I used to train just with the people that like they're not as good as me. So I mean, like at some certain point, I didn't even realize that, but like at a certain point in my gym, I started to like get better than people faster than them. But I didn't understood why I got better. You know, like I was like, I'm gonna do what I'm doing, but I don't know really like what keeps me. You know, like is it because I study like more techniques? Is it because I'm doing like the solo drills after training? Is it because it's naturally, maybe naturally I'm a little bit better than them, like I never know. So it's like, when I get to you, I remember like, you tell me some things that I really didn't understand at the beginning. Like I remember I just took like small knowledge. So like, I remember when you told me about the importance of the grips, like the battles of two people. So I remember the very first thing that I started doing after I came back from Birmingham, I was like, okay, so if I have a spider guard and the guy always makes just one grip, I'm not going to focus on this grip because the grip is already made. I'm going to focus on the next thing, that is the other grip. But the problem was, I was doing this from like only one position, which is spider guard, because like it was very obvious for me. But like from different positions, and they already seen that, you know. I remember many times like you were saying something and I was trying to figure out this, but it's like it was hard because like I didn't speak English at this time as well very well. So like,
and my Polish is not that.
Yeah. So, I still remember when first time I came here, my English is not so good, like, so I was thinking like, okay, so I remember I want to tell you something, so then like sometimes there was like, I don't know how to say the word in English, but I say to you in Polish, and sometimes you know the word back, I say in English, okay, it's this word, and sometimes we both know, so we're both clueless, you know, so it's like, alright. But there was the very first thing that like changed my way of thinking when you said battle about two people, like don't let people get two grips before you. Like I remember there was like, I still remember there was a class where you were teaching about the hooks, where you don't want to just like be on your back and start flat, but you want to expose one side, so then you can kind of predict where the guy goes. And I remember those things changed my game as well, like as well as like when you showed me how to counter the inversions, how to counter the berimbolo, and in my mind I was like, okay, so like if I'm gonna focus too much on that, that's when if the people are gonna figure out how to do it on me, that might be a problem. So I need to figure out the ways how to not make it too much complicated. Because I remember you were saying as well, like too many grip switches, too many like things happening in one moment. So I was like, okay, so I need to readjust my game to like a little bit simpler, and at the same time make it to not let people control the key factors like my hand, my leg, like the next thing they need to focus on. And really, for me, maybe since last year I started to understand a little bit more. But everything, you know, like everything comes a little bit, and then like I'm just thinking about, you told me this already, but I didn't realize that, you know, like it's the same way like when parents tell you something, don't do this because this is gonna happen, you know, like don't eat so much oil because your teeth gonna hurt you after and you need to go to the dentist. And you don't listen to them, but then when you start feeling,
yeah,
that's why.
And they click straight away.
Yeah, it clicks straight away.
And then it's much better than if your parents never said before, because then it happens, you go, oh, that wasn't good, let's do it again, maybe the next time we will.
Yeah,
you know, like, so
yeah.
that's important. And this is the importance of what we talk about a lot. And this is very good because this is a very good lesson to everyone who is watching us today, who trains, who is like from the white to black belts, you know, and it is everything. Sometimes you might not understand, you might not picture exactly how it is, but by that information being sent to you is there is a seed. And the more you try to search in training, try to apply different things, and you start seeing even other things that being said before. I make a very good analogy with when you're a kid and then your parents get a new car. It doesn't make sense, but they just got a new car at home. And then suddenly you start seeing this car every corner on the streets. Oh, look, it's the same car, but it's a different color, but it's the same. Oh, look, the same color. Oh my God, it's the same. Look. You as a kid, you notice that. This is the first sign that as soon as you're being told, therefore it starts exist in your mind.
Yeah.
Even though if you didn't know, but it's there. Even if you cannot see. But then when you look to search for it, you start picturing. You know, but the cars was there every time.
Yes.
It just didn't call you the attention because you've never been told that they exist. So that's one of the same things. So we send information and give you the answer. That's why I say to my students, pick what you can see and everything else will come with time. Because jiu-jitsu is a real thing and everything is real, doesn't come up from night to day. You know, it's because everything comes fast, goes fast. I say this all the time in my classes, but yeah, it's a very good analogy. What do you want to say?
It's the same thing like when you learn a new word, like
exactly.
in the other language,
Yeah.
and then every time
You
people
start
using
seeing
that, I'm like, that was all the time there, you know.
Exactly, and it's funny because I remember that in the language is exactly the same thing that I found. You know, like I used to see, to hear everywhere. I used to. I said, dude, what the heck is this? I used to. So the guy explained, I used to. I said, one more tick in the box, and they start learning. That's pretty cool. All right, so Jakob, one thing that a lot of people like to know as well, how did you feel when you're on that fight, like getting the fastest submission of the whole European tournament 2020, man? Like that was like. I was like jumping around. I was like, oh my God! I was like, a little kid watching it on the side, and I just like to think, like, what was in your mind on the process? Did you expect? And then when it happened, how was it? How did you feel?
So it's funny because I didn't expect that. Like that was like this is one of the things I always start the fight with. So I know, like sometimes I know, like I'm gonna get him. Like there's certain positions where, like, as soon as you get there, you just know it's like a clear rear naked choke when you just like, okay, it's over. And in this case, I was like, okay, he's gonna be over. It's like his ankle's circular like in an awkward way as well there. So it's like, when normally the pressure is here, that like it was on the side here. So like, in the same time, people don't realize that, but it's not just a straight foot look, but the grip that I make. The way I'm doing on the training is very soft. Like I'm very gentle with that, but like
it's like a steamer lock. You cannot go in steamer lock full on training. It's a way of also very good lesson here. There are techniques that you train with your partner here. We train in an individual sport, but we need our partner so we can train again. So there is no even once in my life that I applied a steamer lock and I went full on ever in training. Impossible, because if I go full on, it's not gonna.
Because it's gonna break.
And also many times when I'm doing, it's a very good thing, guys, for you guys to get into consideration as well. It's we have to learn a lot on how to deal with our ego. Because jiu-jitsu we fight is man to man, women is like that. We have that kind of instinct of fight instinct that we want to win, we don't want to lose. The guy gets me in the arm and then they want to tap. That is as well. But because of that. I've always tried to raise above people who doesn't want to tap, and because I know that tomorrow I will need him to train, and I know tomorrow he will want to train. The more people, higher level people I have to train, the better, So every time I get a number, I know it's on. The guy's still fighting. I know that's just a matter of well, I'll never crank nobody else in training, And then sometimes I might even lost. The arm, and the guy escaping, might even pass my guard for it. I said, man. But I know in my mind the fight would be over there. The same thing in the steamer lock. I remember training with the Mendes brothers in Abu Dhabi with Sheikh Tahnoum. And, I'll never be able to get some situation close by, but I never even think about doing it. Because I know if you go for it, it's going to be proper injury. So it's very important what you said,
Yeah, like this is the position where I'm doing the training, I'm pushing. During the comps, I kick. So the pressure is like from the two sides, so like his ankle, but it's as well the knee. Because the way how I sweep the guy is like...
Yeah, doing the technique here, take advantage of you guys here. So you go for the double heel, right? We're here.
So I bring myself closer and just bring my hand in here on my thigh. And then when I'm here doing the training, I'm below your knee. Yeah. So there's like a little bit pressure. Yeah. But during the competition, I just do this.
Bam! Oh my god. This is terrible.
So I think the guy got scared as well about his knee because like I could feel like there's big pressure on the knee, big pressure on the ankle. The guy's like, I'm not gonna get away, and then he needs to tap. The same thing happened on the Grand Slam. The guy didn't want to tap, and he turned in other direction. And because I kick, and I just remember like he just screamed because his ligament went like 3-4 pops, so like over. But like coming back to like emotions I had, like I really like. I didn't expect that, so like I was just surprised. I was like, okay, the fight is over. And I remember like, because I was fighting with Mohammed and I had 2 gis, I was like, in my mind I was like thinking, man, I need to finish this fight quick because my blue gi is so smelly. So I remember like, I finished the fight, my first thought was, let's try. You know, like...
That's good.
So,
man, it's funny, isn't it, when you have those kind of thoughts. So cool. I remember the fight against Mohammed for me was, it was like, even though you lost by 8 points on that, I think it was 3-2 or something like that.
Yeah, he passed
in the very end.
Yeah, very end.
But you swept him. But I think that was your best fight that I've seen you, even though you didn't, but it's how you fought and how you put into practice everything that we've been talking in training.
From the bottom to the top.
From the bottom into the top. And that was like impressive the way that the trust that you have that I was really proud really because you trust, you know, it's very like, because I know sometimes people say like if advice was good, people would sell, you know, it would cost money, but it's just that it takes a humble person and to get this kind of trust. And then when I saw you doing someone against like Mohammed, that is a huge, like 100+ kilograms, you know, and you'll be able to control it, and every so often you reset the control of the cradle pass, you know, and then even though like when you say, you got that he passed your guard, but the thing is, what made happen that it was such a small little detail that create the scenario that is so easy to fix that, you know, I don't even worry about. What I was more interested about was how you make him uncomfortable through the whole fight from the beginning to the last minute, you know, like that was really like I saw like a very mature black belt fighting another world champion 2 divisions ahead above, 3 divisions above.
3 on this one.
3 divisions above, you know, and then you talk through this fight. How did you feel when you pull the guard? You mentioned that as soon as you make the grip, I said, okay, hold on a second, I'm okay now, I can control. Then you strike. Go through what your mind.
So in my mind, the first thing that was like, okay, I don't want to get injured. That's the first thing. And the second thing was I knew he always goes to the first, like the foot sweep. So that was like, you can see like, and the very first, I really faked that I'm going to the guard. So like, I went for his kick. So you make a foot sweep, and then when he was coming back, that's when I pulled, because like that was a dead point when he couldn't just restart. Because like if he makes a foot sweep, I'm thinking like pull no, and then he can foot sweep me again. Yeah. But if he starts the move,
he's already ready.
Yeah, it's like I'm ready to go because like this is the moment where he's not gonna defend that. So after I pull, I secure the lapel, I secure the galaxy guard. I started to feel like more and more comfortable, and then like I realized that like the only thing that he does was like push me up. So it's like, man, if you push you up, he's good, but if you don't, like if you push you up and then you start passing to make a pressure on me, that's when I'm gonna get tired. But if you just push you up, you don't put the pressure on me. So for me, until you don't really put in the, you know about this, you know, like until you don't really make me pushing, that means like I'm right. So like I'm all the time was getting under, and the funny thing was I get to the sweeping position, but I was like I'm not gonna go yet because I still want to feel him. And then when I get to the same position again, it was like I can sweep him now. And I remember like I swept him, and it was like because we land almost at the edge. So like, paro, we come back from center and we start from single legs. So in my mind, I'm thinking about he's gonna go as hard as he can to stand up, but he didn't. I pulled my leg out. I was like, oh,
He's really...
yeah. That was the very first thing.
Jimmy, could you think we could get this this fight by the end of the show? Jakob versus Muhammad Ali. If you can have this fight, you know, it would be awesome to have you doing a voiceover and we analyze together, because it would be awesome. I think people would like that, you know. And I don't think it's. I think it's on the YouTube. It's on YouTube.
I think it's only in the Flow Grappling.
Only in the Flow Grappling.
But
okay.
I can have account, so
He has it. Okay, so guys, we're gonna talk more through, and then we're gonna see this Professor Kaiki sorted that out.
So after sweeping, I was like, okay, so he needs to sweep me back. Like if I'll be him, I'll go as dynamic as he can. Especially if you're world champion, you know, like even though it's not very ego sport, we still have. He swept me. I just sweep him back, you know. Like I thought in my mind, I was like, probably he's gonna do something nasty, you know. Like he's like, I felt like, you know, like
we're gonna
almost,
feel how it is.
Yeah, I got, you know.
It's your first time to fight in a world champion tournament, right?
Yeah. It's like it's different. Training is different. Like during the, you know, it's different as well.
That's game on. Game is on.
Yeah, because during the training, people let you do something. Even though, like for example, even if I train with someone on my same level as me, I'm still will give him a little bit more than I'll give him during the competition. Because during the competition, you want to go, like especially if you fight with someone same level, you want to go as high as you can from the beginning. During the training, sometimes you want to even feel like you think about it, like I want to feel how is his best grips, you know, like I want him to put me in a spot where I need to be worried, because that's what's gonna give you self-confidence on the competition as well. So after I swept him, I was thinking like, okay, I pull my leg out and I was like, okay, that's weird. Okay, let's see. And like I started doing the cradle because like, you know, like since you started doing cradle in March 2019, I started doing it as well. And I lost few fights because I was doing like silly mistakes. But in the same time, I learned a lot of things where to position myself. So like in January, I felt very confident about this because like I was already doing this more than 6 months. So it's like, okay, so I'm gonna go, boom. And I get to the position and I remember, man, he doesn't know what to do from here. Like, and then I was doing more and more and more, and like, I was getting the confidence all the time. A little bit more. You can see like I'm moving much better. But then I think there was like a 6th minute after, I got too much confidence. Because I got like 3 or 4 advantages.
Yeah, you are.
And 2 points ahead. 2 points ahead.
Feel advantage ahead. I said, man, he's killing it. He was desperate. He was frustrated. He was like sweaty. He was like, what's going on here? Why can I move this guy?
Yeah, and this what a little bit lost me. Because from being like, I want to give like the draw. Then I was like, okay, I want to win by advantage. I got to the point where I want to pass him, I want to tap him. You know, I was like, in my head, that was the point. So like, I spent too much energy and then I got too much confidence, because when he got the good grips to sweep me, what I suppose, like, what I would do now is, I was like, okay, open the lapel, sit to Galaxy. If you sweep me, I'm winning by 4 advantages. I put you in the position where you kind of move me, and I win by advantages, but it's a win against world champion. But in my mind, I was like, it's not going to do anything from that. Like, you know, like this shouldn't go through your mind, especially like, that's my black belt debut and they're like big tournament. And I'm thinking like this against the guy who's the world champion.
What's that good mentality to have?
Yeah, it is, but like that, I think that's what lost me.
Yeah, because what happened there, what I noticed, because you have one very good characteristic that is amazing, which is, you know, you're a fighter, and then once you feel that there is a gap there, you want to go, you keep going, you know. What I noticed that when you were fighting him, you're controlling him, but then you went all in afterward, instead of like being more conservative and play. But which comes with experience. By the mistake that I had on the other Tuesday when I mentioned about Marcelo Garcia, the ex-guard, when he swept me from the single X, you know, I learned that I shouldn't step over the head. So now, you know that you shouldn't lose the head on the scenario, don't get confidence. How is Jimmy? We have this fight or not?
I can't get onto floor grappling.
Okay, so no worries, guys. Who is here? We have Chris Mercer. We have C. Dovsky, Jack Cutler, Darren Clark, Wukas as well. That's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Wukas. Congratulations. Guys, listen, take advantage here today. It's just like our little group here from the academy, because that's what's going to happen on Tuesday and Thursday. It's going to have guests, but you know, when you have a small group like that, you guys, if you want to ask any questions for Jacob, his birthday today, if there's anything you guys should ask about his history or about his competitions, about his diet, about, you know, haircuts, and about Sylvia, don't ask about Sylvia. All right. If Darren is there, Darren always like to ask questions, and then I'll try to put this. I'm gonna get the login details to put this fight against Muhammad Ali, which was really good. Can you pass? Sylvia knows the password.
Sylvia, do you remember my password? No.
Do you?
I remember.
You do.
Yeah, but it will be
Okay.
easy for me in Polish. It's
Okay.
complicated.
Huh? Guys, just stay here, guys. You guys can talk to us if you want. So I'm gonna. What was the question again, Darren?
Sorry, mate, my connection.
My connection's quite bad. How long does Jacob plan to compete for? Is it going to be a long path, like, you know, 10-year plan, or is he just going to do a couple of years and maybe look to do other things, etc.? So what's kind of his goals and visions in life for being at a young age and achieving so much already?
Okay, good question. You're just logging in on the Flow Grappling, I'm going to answer that to you. Give me 1 second. How you guys think like the glasses suits me or not? Marcel, Chris, you glass guy, you know, look. I'm also, see, I'm looking smart. Now the problem is, everyone comes to the room, they ask me things, they think I'm smart just because I have a head, but I have no idea what's going on. How is that, Jacob? Working?
You know, when you make a joke to all people that don't remember the passwords, but then like you have a situation where
he forgot his password. So, yeah, prescribed glasses, yeah. So I'm looking forward to see you. I'm looking forward to see you, to see if you that good looking for real, or if I want to see the real you. Okay, Jacob.
that was a letter B on the laptop.
Oh, the question was, if you now you are already achieving so well, so soon in the black belt, and then what's your career plan as a competitor? Do you complete for 2 years, 5 years, or do you have a long career plan like 10 years?
So what I plan to do, I don't know how it's gonna go, because like I'm 23 now, you know, like a lot of times I like to think what's gonna be like in the next 5 years, but then what I realized a lot of times in 1 year, so many crazy things happens that like this 5 years is like, it's not real, because like so many new opportunities came. So like in my mind, what I plan to do, I want to do my last competitions when I'm gonna be 38. That's my plan, to do like my last competition as a 38. Maybe if I would do the things that I want to achieve before, maybe I will stop before, but surely I don't want to stop before 35. So like in my opinion, like Jiu-Jitsu is one of the sports, especially like the gi, because no gi is a little bit different. It's more about the physique, it's more a little bit more about speed, there's tech as well, but in the gi you kind of can cheat on the age, you know, like you can change the way how you're fighting, you can make the guy stuck. Like Bernardo Ferrer is one of the best examples, because the way how he fights is like he fights like an older person, even though he's young, he's like 33, 34, right? So what I'm doing is I'm trying to put myself in the situation where I can still do the things that I'm doing now when I'm gonna be older, and I want to compete as long as I can, because that's what I'm training for. That like I feel like unless I'm gonna find something that gives me more interest, because for me competition is like the essential of my jiu-jitsu. That's like, I feel like if I wouldn't compete, jiu-jitsu would be much more boring for me, because I wouldn't have the point for me to like
push yourself.
Get out from the bed, do this, like, do some drills, do this, like, I feel like when you have, like, certain goal, or, like, you have certain, like, you want to do a certain thing, it's much easier to like, progress. And you can see this, like, in every aspect of your life, you know, like, every time you need to put yourself goal, because otherwise you just...
To motivate you.
Yeah, you're just blind.
And it's a good point, because even the motivation that we want to put in has to be achievable. Has to be a goal that is achievable, that motivates you to kind of, like the carrot in front of, you know, of the thing. Because sometimes when you put the goal, you know, I want to be, you know, 10 times world champion. I want to be a world champion as a black belt and I'm a blue belt. This goal is too far. And then it will make you not pay attention on the present, that you could become a state champion or a British champion in the blue belt. Then I want to be the British champion in the Europeans. And, you know, when you focus on that, then when you get I lost the Europeans, next year I'm going to do it again one more time in the blue belt. And then when you get there, you blink your eyes, you're already with the same mentality. But when you look back, oh my God, look how far I have been. So here, I'm going to come out of here. So, Jacob, we go to one side and I go to the other side.
So we're going to be Muhammad, yeah?
So just put you can be on your knees here so you can see exactly. That's good. So, let's start the fight here. This is Muhammad Ali versus Jacob.
So you got, like, I didn't see that big difference, but like when you watch from the side, it's even bigger. So you can see, like, he make a foot sweep that I was waiting for. And from here, the very first thing was I was trying to go to the Kayo, and at the same time I was trying to open the far lapel with my right hand. I'm trying to wrap him in the warm guard. It's really just to open the lapel. I want to keep just the back. That's why I set up the Galaxy on my left side. I try to get under him. I just try to feel, because I know that he likes to do this, like, Torado passes. So I want to feel like if I'm gonna be alright. So you can see, like, I already have my knee under. I'm already in good position here. Like, if I'll be now, I'll know that, like, I can kickstand up. But I was like, no yet.
You could sweep him already.
Yeah, I'm like, no yet. Let me feel him, because then I'm gonna be more confident in case if he sweeps me. So from here, single legs with Galaxy.
He tried to stand up, that just make it easier for get off balance as well.
From here, I was thinking from about 50-50, but he push-ups very well. He's as tall as me, so it's not so easy.
Go back, yeah, you're just feeling it, yeah?
Yeah.
You could have swept him there if you want.
Yes, as well, like, he's gonna step back with the foot that is wrapping the single legs, because I'm not holding his leg as well. So, like, that's why I was like, I don't want to sweep him here, because I don't feel he put, you see, like, I even removed myself from single legs.
Did you feel that he got a little bit like a kind of a puzzled, like a little bit intrigued with the way
I felt like now he slowly starts to put the pressure. Like, now he starts to, like, treat me a little bit more serious, because he doesn't want to get stuck. And this is the tricky part, because now he thinks he can get to side control, but the problem is his shoulder never can get under. And, like, what I do now is with my right foot, there is on lapel.
Yeah.
This one here, you're gonna see a step on lapel there. That's why I recover with double Galaxy.
And
now again,
single. That's so good position. Nice lapel control there on the bottom.
And this is the tricky part here, because, like, when I get here, he's gonna make a back step at some point. But what I'm doing always with the lapel from single legs, I always put my foot on lapel. So even though you don't see that, my right foot is still on lapel.
So he cannot step out.
So if he's gonna step out, he's gonna lie in the same position like we did before. So from here, I'm trying to reach his trousers. I still try to feel him, because his weight is on his hand, so he doesn't really have a balance here. But, like, I'm still like, okay, let me feel. And now he's gonna make a back step. But you see my foot there?
He's still stopping everything.
It's still on lapel.
Yeah, I love this position. It's like the guy gets very deceiving. You cannot apply. You try, but you cannot apply the pressure on the thing, because you cannot get to the angle.
It's almost like tripod sweep, but, like, the guy can't remove the foot from the hip. It's super annoying.
Yes.
Now
that's a nice close guard, that position. Nice lapel attack, and you go for your favorite.
Yeah, now he's gonna do Torado, but foot come back on lapel.
Now he start already. Come on, now I'm gonna show this kid how it's done.
But that was a situation where he gave me confidence, because I felt 100% effort, and then he couldn't do much. So then I was like, okay, now I can stand up on top because
Now you already
I feel like,
head.
yeah, he's okay. And now at this moment here, I think about, okay, so we're gonna restart, and he's gonna try to sweep me right away, for sure. Like I'm already preparing myself, like trying to catch some breath because I know like the first few seconds gonna be as dynamic as he can.
Yeah, he's gonna. I would expect he was going to go crazy up.
Yeah, it's like he's gonna probably double me outside of the mat, you know, like show that he's
I
the
can
one.
tell your face, gave me zona. And then that's I think you went for the cradle, didn't you?
Yeah, gonna step back and then right away gonna go cradle. So I was like here, I was like, okay.
This stops everything.
And that was the position I was very confident in because like I did so much specific training from this position. Like kind of like over under to cradle, and then from cradle I'm gonna start bringing my knee through.
Oh, look at beautiful position. Look at that collar control. So he cannot. He's not able to. Oh, they're so close. The pass. They're so close. Look at that beauty. And then I'm back again. This was the beauty that he did. Coming back to the center again when he. It's beautiful. Look at that. And again, it's so annoying.
Yeah, and that was one of the moments when I was like, okay, now I'm confident on top, and like every minute here I'm gonna get more and more confident, which is good, but it's bad as well. Like the way how I'm keeping myself there as well. Like you can see, like I'm not keeping my head low. I'm trying to put my head a little bit higher to like let's move, let's do it. You know, like I want to bring my right knee through to go to the folding. He keeps a very good control there with his left hand. Now. I think he wanted to like come back like kind of like butterfly guard here, but like I keep him away. He turned the hips, but I changed
the other side. Beautiful.
That was one of the things that I struggled at the very beginning in the cradle when people switch the hips because I was good on the one side. Yeah, that's why, for example, I lost a World Pro on the Bramble in 2019 because I was going like. I was putting too much effort even though the person was doing the reaction that I'm not supposed to go there because every time the person needs to create certain reaction. I was explaining this today on the morning class as well. So we hear...
Yeah, that's the cradle is very important to know both sides, especially now, look, see, when you go there, like you go collar, then you smash and keep to the right, keep to the right, and then you go to the left and you can do to the left, and then you can tell he's already getting frustrated because he cannot get comfortable when he should be feeling comfortable already.
And then at the same time, he keeps my trousers, so that's why I'm not moving, but I keep my elbows tight, so he kind of lock a close guard. I think here I'm gonna slide to the right by the shin. Yeah, that's what I did. Lasso. Because that's probably the best answer for that. But this is when he puts himself in my position. I keep the collar.
I like that you stay always kind of, you reset and everything. Like, see, you go to the left and he gets it, and now you're kind of back to, so that was start like, you know what I mean? Good resetting, good job. That's when you start thinking, I'm gonna pass, isn't it? That's when
that was the moment.
That was the moment that.
And from now on, I'm gonna get too much confidence, especially here. Like I escape from his calf guards. Like I think here I'm gonna make a big long step here if I could remember.
Yeah, so close, so close.
It was this one, and
then you came back again from there.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back and do something crazy. I remember, like I was watching that, and I was like, "Is that me?" Oh, here.
There we go.
I'm gonna go boom. I never do this. I never move like this. You know, like I never do like such a explosive, crazy moves because my coordination sucks. so you can see here, I'm too much confident because I use the move that I never use as well. Yeah. Even though it looks good, you know, it looks like I'm doing this all the time. But this is just a confidence.
That's the beauty thing, that stepping out, sees focusing on him on making turn. That was really a good control there. And we spoke about what was the I think he's gonna get close. I think what was
it's gonna be lapel under my leg with the half guard on. That's when it's like it's not yet.
The head, isn't it? I remember something the head.
Yeah, it's here. This is one of the actions here because I'm trying to free my left foot. I'm all the time trying to do like I did before because that was the thing that worked.
Yeah, that would be the time that you should be.
I think
stay.
Maybe or maybe go to knees like if my head will be from other side.
Yeah, look, his face is under pressure. It's amazing control there. His head cannot get out of there. You can see his head. That's what next we focus about on how to.
Yeah, now, yeah.
Next,
wiggle,
look, this
wiggle.
camera. That
Yeah.
was the mistake. That was a problem. And that's
And
when
this is when it's gonna be. He had the lapel under my leg, and here I'm
It's too
too
heavy.
much confident because I could just sit down and place my lapel. Now I'm too tired because it's like lapel is not tight
losing
here.
time,
Boom.
that was a problem there.
Yeah, but the next day I remember, like in my semi-final match, the guy almost passed me, but because I remember what to do next, you see my right hand there, like I hug him, which is a problem. I should bring my right hand under the armpit over here
Yes.
to stop the crossface, go to turtle, give him advantage, but he's not gonna pass my guard. Here
Sure.
I'm too like
True. That was when it goes. And then it was a little bit of slack on the gi, but that's also it cost you.
I didn't turn. Like I can do like now so many things.
Yeah, but that's because you've been there. You know, the same thing. You realize the same thing that you when you talk about when we said that when you do a proper submission, you take it easy. But when you do it for the competition, you go full on. That way you understand now where you can and where you can't.
From here now I'm gonna recover, reverse close guard. From here, I felt like he wanted to do like some crazy step over the head and like Kimura me like to break my shoulder.
And now, but this is when you realize that. Hold on a second. You know, it's
Still on.
yeah. You know, it's not it's not the crazy. If you play it right, they will respect you because they cannot just do anything at any time because it's not a. They might expose themselves. So this shows that you gained his respect, you know.
In the same way, like what crazy is about this tournament is like all of the positions that like I get stuck in this position, like when he swept me, I couldn't recover, and then the position that he was playing. The next day, those situations happened in my semi-final and my quarterfinal. Because in the quarterfinal, what the guy had lapel under my leg, half guard, and was stopping me. But because we readjust this in the same day here, that's why I recovered.
Yeah, there's such a good spin. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Look at that.
But from here, still had a little bit hold with the stalls.
You know, it's so close. You got that so well.
Now I think slowly she's gonna start defending because
It's
I
not
remember I
that
switched
on.
to a different one, the one that I've been working on.
The twisted one, yeah.
Yeah, the
You know.
twist one.
You got an advantage for that. So now it's like 4 seconds.
It's always delayed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But awesome, man. Listen, okay, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Man, like that was an amazing fight. When I see that was just a little detail, and you know, when you go in a high level, compete in a high level, it's not only about to have a high level technique. It's not only have a high level stamina, you know, and not only have a high level mindset, but it's about the experience that you need to, how to play the strategy, right or wrong, how you feel, how you come about, and always will change, you know. And but if you didn't try and expose yourself, you wouldn't know the importance of the head. You wouldn't know that this is the time when you should be more conservative. So next time, I made this mistake too. I remember when I fought Cyborg, you know, I fought him at the World. It's usually called the World Olympic Pro in Brazil. It was like the second federation, the CBJJ. I fought him that, and then 1 week before I fought the Luizinho. What's the name of the Luizinho, Kaique? A Federação do Luizinho, how is the name? Da Federação Olímpica, como é que é? The CBJJO. You know, they used to make a competition the week before the Worlds. I remember I fought Cyborg, and you know, it was my second fight, and I submit him on the triangle, like, you know, at the beginning of the fight. And then I went on to win the whole absolute, and lost my division to Shandy, you know, in the final. And I remember that I was going to fight all of them again on the next weekend. And then I had Cyborg as the first fight of my absolute. And the second fight was going to be Damian Maia And then after the MMA, I was going to fight Xande Ribeiro. So I was like, maybe I'll take a little, go easy here because I have already. That's what happened. So I went to this, he pulled half guard, which is his main thing. And I just controlled, I almost stopped on the, making my katagatame, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna relax a little bit here, save some energy. And then he escaped the head, exactly the same as Muhammad Ali did. And he swept me, boom, armbar, straight away. And I said, oh my God, But again, next time that I fight someone that plays half guard, I was more conservative and more understanding what's going on. But I think it has been an amazing journey so far. There's a lot to come. There's a lot of learning, a lot of mistakes will come, which is part of everything. And that it's important that we make mistakes so we can realize and fix it and be doing the right game. And I think the future is really bright for you. I'm very, very proud to be a little bit of a reference for you on the area, and I'm very excited to see what the future has to come, and happy for you and then see you guys winning a lot more medals and fulfill your dreams, and and hopefully to be beside through all this process. So say something to the boys. Say some, like it's a birthday boy. We made that kind of a special, Jakob special today. And hello, Lucas Jazz also celebrate his birthday. And so before we finish, just say something for the boys that's watching us, and pass on some inspirational messages. And
so for me, like, I would never think like the way how the things went are gonna go like this, because like when I was like training, I never had like reference, like if you're in UK, for sure you follow some Brazilian, you follow some guy of the Scandinavia, you have this reference where if you just look in like a far between, like just between the people that like you, like Polish people just around them, you don't really know how the good people are. So I remember when I was like a blue belt, the purple belt level for me was impossible. Like when I was thinking about like, man, this purple belt must be crazy. You watch the highlights, but this is not like, every highlight is good. Like everyone, like if you make a highlight, you can make a highlight of the person that's not as good, but highlight can make the person look good. You know what I mean? Like you can do this about everyone.
Yeah.
There are some people that like can make a highlight from the lost fight. I don't know.
You can make Carlos Baskin looking good.
You can make a Carlos Baskin looking good. Taking care of the Tigers and everything. But I remember when I was first time when I went to like Europeans, I lost the quarterfinal. I was like, man, I was so close. Then next year I won, and I remember in this moment like this, there was like the click in my mind was like, maybe I can do this, But then I was like, man, I'm gonna finish the school soon, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But then, like, I remember you give me this opportunity that you're gonna just come, Jake. Like, from having, like, no really, like, the plan for what to do after school. No student, like, from nowhere. I was just like, oh, we can come here. And I was like, man, that's crazy. And I still remember because, like, I remember you asked me, like, when you finish your school? I was like, year and a half. Like a year and a half, it's a lot, it's a long time, but it's like, I was like, okay, year and a half. I remember like I was doing as much as I can. I was like, I won World Pro as well. That was the second test as well for me, because I remember like I lost the semi-final on the Europeans, and then I remember there was like about World Pro to come. Like it was my first time outside of the Europe as well, so I was like, okay, so now World Pro. And this is the story, like this is a funny story as well, because I was doing the training with the guy who is like from Norwich, he's from like Homolo gym. But because I was coming out in Copacabana, it wasn't like we're about to meet in the quarterfinal. And man, on the warm-up area, straight after playing, we were training, and man, he smashed me. But like, no, really smashed me, but like we were fighting for like 10 minutes, and then he passed my guard, and I was like, man, what's happening, And then I remember I saw the brackets, I was like, man, I'm gonna fight with him in the second fight. So in my mind I was like, man, like what's gonna be my approach as well? But then I ended up winning the whole tournament, and I was like, I can still do it, And then I remember when I moved here, the very first thing that happened for me, I injured my neck. So like in my mind, I was like, man, like I was about to start so good, and then like now I have an injured neck. I can do maybe 60% of the things I was doing. So like I need to like readjust my game. I need to focus on teaching the classes as well. I need to do so many things, and like I try to learn how to speak English and everything. Like like all of these things happen in one moment. But I think that's what makes you good, because then like if you overcome this, you just think like, you know what, that's not as hard, like it's the same way when we need to close the gym to do our online classes, like to make a different platform, not close the gym, but like to make it different platform. We don't know if people are gonna follow us or not, but from other side, year before we moved the gym, and we did so many crazy stuff in like 3-4 weeks. So I felt like for us, because we overcome this, it was like very strict. I still remember like that was like maybe 4 weeks ago when we just like this, like one Monday we do the training here, Tuesday we go online. Like
very fast.
Yeah, it was like it was like nothing. So like I feel like one of the things that I learned being here, being like around you, is like how to overcome the things, and as well like don't take the things too serious. But this I don't mean to like to not respect them, but like every time through like every situation there's some kind of solution. If I can't stop one thing, I can stop the next thing. Okay, and you can see this from everywhere. So like we did now, we can't be here training with you guys. So what we do is we provide the online service, and then in the same time we focus what you guys saying about this, so like to improve that. So that was one of the things that I learned here, and I think like
make the most of it for what you got.
Yeah, it's like from everything you can take a lesson, and in the same time you can kind of, there's some situation in life where you just think like, okay, that was like, now I know next time when something similar happens, I know what to do. And that was one of the things I learned from you, and I think I'm still learning.
I think the thing is very important to take the positive of everything. You can always take the negative of everything. You can always complain. You can be like, oh man, you can blame others, which is the easiest thing to do. It's because of this. If this didn't happen, dude, look, whatever happened, the good or bad, only you have the power to decide how you feel about it and how you do about it, what you do about it. So, you know what I mean? So that's the main thing, So guys, we are getting close here to our, let me see, what time is it, sir? What time is it now? 7:05. Right, guys, so we've been here for a bit already, over an hour stuff, okay? I think it was an amazing time we spoke to Jacob. Next week we're gonna have the timetable already preset with the code, so you guys already gonna know what's up. That's why today there wasn't many people. We just put the code 5 minutes ago. On Tuesday there will be a special guest, Felipe Pena, multiple world champion, multiple ADCC champion, World Pro champion, Pan Am's champion, European champion, Universal champion. It's going to be awesome to talk to him. You guys are going to be able to ask some questions and stuff. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay, and tomorrow there will be the class at 11 o'clock, right?
So is
it
it
11 o'clock tomorrow?
Yes.
11 a.m. on class for the adults. Okay, we're going to have a good time. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the screen. For now, I see you guys, I see you Chris, I see you Lucas, happy birthday, I see you Cido, I see you Jack, Darren was there too. Thank you very much, appreciate everyone. Professor, happy birthday. Thanks for being here. Always good and learning from you and get your inspired messages. It's very good. So guys, have a good evening everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow at 11 p.m. a.m.
See you guys.
Cido, I'm gonna get one later. See you later, guys.